a new AI inventory of global emissions in the spotlight during Finance Day at COP27. This will allow leaders to know the location and scope of emissions being released. Mark Morano of Climate Depot has got a couple of minutes between gluing himself to a pyramid or gluing himself to a pharaoh's sarcophagus. Mark, it is great to see you. They are actually taking it to the next level right out of your book, The Great Reset, because actually an individual carbon tracker is basically a way of keeping tabs on everything any individual does.
Yes, they are, Mark. Keep in mind, we as humans inhale oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide. So we are literally 8 billion carbon dioxide emitters on the planet. Al Gore is doing a big splash. He's calling it the Climate Trace system, where they're going to monitor 72,000 alleged emitters. And the idea here is to create a Chinese-style social credit system where they're going to shame companies and anyone who has any type of emissions into not doing it. And it's explicitly, according to Al Gore, being designed to help the United Nations enforce CO2 emissions on companies, agriculture, farmers, you name it, across the board. This is one of the most frightening things that come out of this United Nations Climate Summit.
I like the way that it's meant to evoke the COVID track and trace thing, isn't it? The carbon track and trace. Yeah. Presumably because all these, most regular folks, I think, aren't interested in the COVID track and trace. But evidently that was regarded as a great success by these types.
It was. I mean, they looked at what happened in COVID, and now we have the Al Gore's and the United Nations Climate Trace app. You could shorten it to Big Al is watching you. And we saw how they particularly used the climate track and trace in Australia, where if you went into a supermarket and were unwittingly 10 feet from someone, you would end up being in the forced internment camp for 8 or 10 days, whatever it is. This is the most totalitarian thing to come out of this United Nations summit. This is something that we need to roundly condemn. We need to shore up massive global opposition to this because they're bypassing democracy. This is straight out of Klaus Schwab's playbook. We've already seen MasterCard last year join up with the UN to monitor carbon footprints and cut off your spending when you hit your carbon dioxide max.